I got your betting trends for Thursday Night Football. We got Jaden Daniels and the 1-0 Commanders heading to Green Bay to face off with the 1-0 Jordan Love and the Packers. Betting odds and market analysis. As of Wednesday, the spread is Green Bay 3.5-point favorite. The line opened up as a 2.5-point favorite for the Packers, with Green Bay on the money line minus 184. Over under, we have the total set at 48.5. The market right now, again, this is as of Wednesday, 55% of the bets are on the Commanders, but 60% of the money is on the Packers. Week 2 betting context. The betting public went 3-13 against the spread, with the 5 teams that closed as favorites going 0-5 against the spread. Teams with 60% of the bets or more went 1-10 against the spread. Road favorites went 5-1 straight up, one loss being the Ravens. And since the start of last year, the road favorites are 85-29 straight up. Now, if you like betting over-unders, the unders went 12-4 in week 1. That's the best week 1 under mark for any season since 2000. 2023, 2010, 2006 can compare. In those 3 years, the under went 17, 29, and 2 in week 2 combined. None of those 3 years had a mark above 500. Now we move to the trends. Quick prop bets information to think about. Jaden Daniels' pass yards are right now set at 225.5. The over has hit 8 of his last 10 games. Passing touchdowns is set at 1.5. The over has hit 7 of his last 10 games. Then we move to a little bit of snippets. Rush yards, 30-plus yards, hit 9 of his last 10 games. And he has at least 1 passing touchdown in 9 of his last 10 games. Deebo Samuel, receptions is set at 4.5. The over has hit 3 of his last 6 games. Reception yards is set at 53.5. The over has hit 4 of his last 6 games. Terry McLaurin, receiving yards is set at 55.5. The over has hit in 7 of his last 10 games. Receptions is 4.5. The over has hit in 6 of his last 10 games. Austin Eckler, rush yards, 22.5. The over has hit 6 of his last 10. Receptions is set at 2.5. That has hit 6 out of his last 10 and 4 out of his last 4. Jordan Love, pass yards, is set at 235.5. The under has hit 8 of his last 10 games. And his passing touchdowns is set at a touchdown and a half, which also hit under 6 of his last 10. 175 yards plus passing yards. The over has hit 9 of his last 10 games. Josh Jacobs, rushing yards, 78.5 is what it's set at. The under has hit 7 of his last 10 games. Receptions, he's at 1.5. The over has hit 5 of his last 10 games. The crazy stat here is if you're betting anytime touchdown, he's hit that 10 of his last 10 games. Dontavian Wicks, who also showed up on the injury report. His reception yards are set at 24.5. The over has hit 7 of his last 10 games. Receptions is set at 1.5. The over has hit 8 of his last 10 games. Romeo Doubs, reception yards is set at 41.5. The over has hit 5 of his last 10 games, and receptions he's at 3.5. The under has hit 7 of his last 10 games. Tucker Kraft, receiving yards, 35.5. The over has hit 5 of his last 10 games, and his receptions are at 3.5. The under has hit 7 of his last 10 games. The Commanders have played 5 night games with Jaden Daniels under center and are 4-1 straight up and against the spread, covering by 7.9 points per game. His only loss was on short rest on Thursday Night Football. Washington had 12 penalties last week. In the wildcard era, teams to have 10-plus penalties in week 1 and 1 are just 28 and 39 in week 2. Matt LaFleur is 16-3 in his first 3 games of the season since 2019. 8-0 against the spread at Lambeau. He also is 16-6 against the spread in September, with an 8-3 record at Lambeau. Green Bay contacted the Lions running backs at or behind the line of scrimmage on 70% of their attempts in week 1, the 3rd highest rate in the league. Here we go with the predictions. Key players on the injury report. Quay Walker, questionable with a quad. Dontavian Wicks, questionable with a calf. Jaden Reed, questionable with a foot. Micah Parsons, questionable with a back. Washington, Austin Eckler, questionable with the shoulder. Noah Brown, questionable with a knee. And Tress Way, questionable with a back. the betting angle, I'm taking Washington plus 3.5 and the over of 48.5. Here's how I see it. I feel this game's going to be close. And that half point that they gave you was the difference in my pick. And that's why I picked Washington. I could see this game being a field goal difference. Final score prediction, I got Green Bay winning this one. I'm thinking right around 31-28. Do you agree with my pick? Drop your score predictions in the comments below. Follow for more weekly NFL previews, betting breakdowns, and some Dallas Cowboy bias. Again, use promo code RUTS20 at 500level.com for 20% off site-wide. That was the Commanders and the Packers for Thursday Night Football. This is Running Up the Score.